Welcome back to another video of Smith Fishing Outdoors, and today we're going to be starting a new series called, you want to say it?
Outthinking the Muskies.
Outthinking the Muskies. This is going to be a fun series. We're going to talk about moon phases and the times you want to be on the water and the best time to catch muskies.
So episode 1 we want to talk about is thinking multiple steps ahead.
Yeah.
Okay? That is key. It's key to our success on the water.
Mm-hmm.
Is knowing when to go and picking those productive times.
Yeah. So
moon phases can be really good. Obviously, that's a key.
Very good.
Whether it's new moon or full moon, I like them both. But also, during the day, it's your moon underfoot when it's directly below you in the earth, or moon overhead when it's above. And what have you thought? I mean, I know underfoot seems to be my favorite one.
Usually I just go on whenever you take me fishing, but I know that underfoot's usually one of the best ones. Yeah.
And look in the calendar and you'll see, or you can get an app. We use Isolunar, which is for iPhones. It's a pretty good app.
Yeah.
I'll show you an example of that. But there, you can pick the time and the right time of the day is key. So if you got like a moonrise you got a sunset at 9?
Yeah.
And a moonrise at like 8:45.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a good time?
Yeah. Usually it's a good time.
I mean, weather trumps everything, and that's something you also got to keep in mind. I mean, you can pick the right days in the calendar. You're going to wind a lot of times, but there's times where all of a sudden a lightning storm comes through, and you just don't catch them at 8:45 like you would. But
I mean, there even might be I think there's some calendars out there that tell you moons.
You got to watch it. You got to watch your calendars, and you got to watch some apps. What I like to do is actually be spot on the spot when it comes to a moonrise or a moonset. And so there's some apps that are centrally they're based out of say Tennessee, where there's that's where they get their latitude and longitude is out of that. And so you might be 8-9 minutes off in Wisconsin or Minnesota.
Mm-hmm. And
even the difference between Minnesota and Wisconsin is like 4 minutes.
Yeah.
So I use Isolunar. You can look that up. I'll put a little link to it in this video. But I think it costs like $8-9, and you got it on your phone forever. But that one figures out your latitude and longitude. So I actually pick like 4 or 5 different places that I like.
Yeah.
And you can always check and see when the best times are.
Like sometimes we'll move a fish, and then it could be a big fish, and then you'll come back right on moonrise, and boom.
Yeah.
Smoke them.
So, it's being there at the right time, like Fischer just said, is key.
Mm-hmm.
You move a fish at 2 or 3 hours before moonrise. Don't just come back the next hour. Come back when you think it's going to bite, and that, picking your major time.
Especially with big fish, they like to eat right on spot.
You don't want to pull them off the spot. You don't want to bother them. And, sometimes it's tough on public waters, and you can, to try to save a fish on the spot. But
some other fishermen couldn't fish.
It could, exactly. But picking those right times, setting them up in your schedule. If you only get fish 4 or 5 days a month, pick those 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, past experience plays a lot into thinking multiple steps ahead. I mean, just tell me about a past experience on a spot that
Like, there's just sometimes where we'd fish this spot, we wouldn't see anything. And then all of a sudden, right on moonrise, coming around figure 8, there's like a 46.
Yep.
And
you get all that stuck in your head where you remember, what a lake does at that certain time of the year, whether it's, July or August or whatever. So that helps narrow down your pattern when you're thinking ahead, thinking how the muskie's related to the moon, like you said, and everything. So, timing is everything. I don't know how many times that I position the boat or Fisher's position the boat where we just know that, you know, it's an August pattern. They're eating medusas, and they're going to eat medusas on moonrise and underfoot and everything. And you know, you just put the boat where you know every time you come into that figure eight, there's going to be one behind
And it's
you.
kind of like deer hunting. You want to be in your stand at the right time.
Yep.
For the deer to come walk through. Maybe you see them on your trail camera or something. You want to be there at the right time.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You know, you prepare. One thing too is part of the whole deal of thinking multiple steps ahead is preparation. Knowing that you know, this, when we're in September or
Yeah.
October, it's a suic bite.
Yeah.
You know, I'll go out to my garage and we'll go through and literally change out the baits like you're changing oil on it. You know, now it's September, I got to do this.
We'll take
Now-
our bucktail box, take everything out of there, and
Yeah, in November I take my bucktails out and maybe don't eat topwaters anymore. But you know,
Yeah.
you start putting more jerk baits and suspending stuff and everything else that you got more confidence in that time of year.
and
you know.
maybe some rubber and stuff.
Exactly. You know, the whole thing is our opponent is what?
The muskie.
The muskie.
The muskies.
And if you treat it like a game, you know, I mean, anything, you know, like you're playing checkers or whatever, it's a game. You got to think multiple steps ahead, whether it be the moon, whether it be the weather,
Yep.
whether it be, you know, what gear you got to have in the boat,
Yeah, you gotta have good gear.
and just even making sure your leader's in good shape and everything's in good shape, because that's
Right.
your opportunity. There's some days where you're only going to get bit for a little bit. I mean, I know in mid-November that they'll bite right on a moon phase,
Yeah.
and sometimes that's your 10-minute window all day.
Yeah, we'll have windows in like November where it's like maybe 11 o'clock major, and they just bite then.
Yep.
They don't bite the rest of the day.
Exactly, and it's such a small window that it's actually frustrating.
Yeah.
You know, all of a sudden they just come unglued, and you know, if you spend too much time with them in the net and take a photo, you know, you've already burned up 5-6 minutes of a 10-minute window.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
it's but you know, one thing that to prepare yourself for these deals, I mean, is it fun to go fishing other new lakes?
It is very fun to fish new lakes. You see new scenery. If you're pounding a lake for like a week and a half, you're gonna get tired of seeing the same scenery. Sometimes we like to go to new lakes. Like we went to like 3 new lakes last year, I think, and we checked them out. We learned some new stuff about the lakes, and maybe we could go back there next year.
Yeah, I mean, we saw fish on them,
Yeah, we saw some fish
and
on them.
it challenges yourself. You go in there and you're looking at your graph and you're following things around and you're looking at the maps and you prepare yourself, and then what you learn on those lakes, you can come back to your favorite lakes, your bread and butter lakes, and kind of change things up. And with today's pressure and patterns, I mean, it's key to have a fresh mind into things and not go back and beating the same spot,
Yeah.
and you know, think out of the box. And you know, sometimes, you know, even just going out of the state, going to Lake St. Clair.
Lake St. Clair, maybe
I mean,
Minnesota.
I mean, how deep were you working deuces in Lake St.
It
Clair?
was like 25 feet of water or something.
18 to 20, yeah, it was
18 to
deep.
20.
And you know, we don't really typically do that often.
Yeah.
But it really opened up your mind on what we can do. And
Like maybe at your lake near your house, the fish could do like some fish might not be in the flats. They might be in the main basin fishing, like sitting 18 feet of water.
yeah, you know, and then there's lakes like, you know, Vermilion that you know, you got a lot of fish in them, maybe 6 feet down in a basin,
Yeah.
especially in June and all that. And you know, challenging yourself to go to other places, even if you're not successful, the knowledge you learn, bringing it home, I mean, it's huge. I counted last year, we fished 38 different lakes in the season, and a lot of, you know, everything but 3 we know I've already fished before, and
Yeah.
But still, going to different lakes, even at, say you've been there once, but you go at a different time. Now you go in November instead of
Yeah.
June. All changes things up.
Or now you're fishing at night, and now you're fishing at day.
Exactly. So, this is just a neat little series. Give us questions. We got more we can talk about.
Yeah.
I mean, I can show you baits, and this bait works, and this bait works, and our tackle series was really fun. But all in all, it's what your mind.
It's all about the mindset and the times that you're fishing. You could have $500 rod and $400 reel.
And a $50,000 Ranger boat.
Yeah, and a $50,000 boat, but you still might not be the best fisherman around.
Or you can't even find a fish because
Yeah.
you're not preparing yourself for the steps ahead. Casting the bait's the easy part.
Yeah.
It's getting everything lined up, and those fish are going to bite, and especially on pressured waters.
Yeah.
Unpressured waters, you got a little bit more, midday stuff that'll do, But last year we found midday moons were really good. 12
Yeah.
noon, 11 o'clock. You got your 50 at 11:30 in the morning.
Yeah, that was
flat, calm skies.
Flat, calm, super
And-
hot. It was like almost 80 that day.
Yep. But we had a major midday. I mean, it was that's what triggered that fish.
Yeah.
So being prepared, and why we went to that lake was because we had 3 windows that day. There was 3 major moonrise events going on in that day. Is why we traveled, and
Yep.
you want to put yourself in front of the best windows, and we caught 4 muskies that day.
Yeah, we caught 4.
We caught 4 muskies that
4
day.
muskies.
So
And we saw like multiple more.
exactly. So, well, I appreciate everybody. Like I said, give us questions,
Comments.
give us comments. It's fun to talk about this stuff.
Yep.
Check out our other videos like that.
Yep. Like some more musky videos of. We do have that 4 fish day midday on film. That's a video. I think it's last year
From August.
August.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Go check that video out if you're wondering about what that video is. And make sure to like and subscribe. And we'll see you on the next adventure.